Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if everybody will take their seats now, we'll be departing here. As soon as you hear the train horn, it will be all aboard. And as Jeff said earlier, please keep your hands and arms inside the train. There are some branches and stuff that get pretty close to the railroad from time to time, and we don't want anybody hurt. We'll be traveling in a easterly or southerly, by the railroad terms, direction. We'll be going up close to Route 54 and the Yellow Hill Crossing. We won't go quite all the way to the Yellow Hill Crossing and where the train will make its turn around. I'd like to welcome everybody. My name is Bill Milbrand. I'm the mayor here in Shamokin, and I'd like to welcome everybody here to the train today. We're glad you came along. Unfortunately, the weather's starting to turn a little bit to the worse, but it's dry on the train. So we hope you have a nice ride up through Shamokin here. I'll be pointing out a couple of points of interest from time to time as we roll along. The train today is sponsored by the Anthracite Heritage Festival, and the festival is sponsored by the Arts Council by the Penn Valley Railroad, Mr. Jeff Pontius, and he does a very, very good job with maintaining and restoring these railroad cars. The engines that we're pulling today is owned by the North Shore Railroad, which is a part of the Cedarcog Joint Rail Authority. So sit back and enjoy as we travel southbound out of town here. We'll soon be coming upon the area that the former Reading Railroad Station was, where many passenger trains left here on a daily basis. Toward the end, there was one named passenger train called the King Cole. The King Cole would leave Shamokin every morning at about 7:30 in the morning and return about 9:30 at night from Philadelphia. One round trip a day. Now, ladies and Okay, ladies and gentlemen, last Thursday, there was a trip that came through town here with this very train, as a matter of fact. We came from Sunbury and went all the way up as far as we're going today, and that was loaded with a bunch of folks from the Pennsylvania Railroad Museum Commission. It was loaded with folks from the Reading Railroad Technical and Historical Society. And there was also folks on there from the Pennsylvania Railroad Historical Society. We stopped right here in downtown Shamokin, where close to 500 people got off the train and was treated to some very nice hospitality right here in Shamokin. Okay, right now the train is approaching. If you see BB&T Bank, the area right next to the tracks across from BB&T Bank is where the former Reading Railroad passenger station once stood. And that's where people got on the train to leave for Philadelphia once a day, every day.
I guess the station isn't even near anymore.
You know, I'd like to take this time to run over by a float in the parade. I just want to make an announcement that we heard from his mother, and he is in the Geisinger, and he's in stable condition, and according to his mother, in the report that I got, there are no broken bones, and no internal injuries. So we want to thank God for that, and we want to keep that young boy in our prayers so he comes through a speedy recovery. As we travel out of town, as we're facing forward going southbound, if you look out the left side of the train where the Shamokin police station is, that was once the site of the Eagle Silk Mill, one of the largest manufacturing facilities in the state, actually. I wish I had along with me all the statistics on the building, but unfortunately I ran out of the house this morning and forgot all those statistics. But it was actually a very large manufacturing facility where they produce silk. Momentarily.
That's bad, a car on the track. Why somebody just parked on the track?
Yeah, they just stopped there temporarily.
I
think we should have run over the car when he was here.
The train's going fast, man. That hit the car and kill people. It's happening. Thank you very much.
Okay, as we travel south out of Shamokin here, we're going to be entering in what we better known in Shamokinites here as the 5th Ward section of Shamokin. Shamokin was once a very ethnic community with many different members of different ethnic, various ethnic groups who lived here because they all came to work in the coal mines around Shamokin. And the 5th Ward of Shamokin was primarily Italian immigrants from the Western European countries who came to the area to work in the coal mines. To the left of the train is the Springfield section of Shamokin, well, actually Coal Township, pardon me, Shamokin and Coal Township, which was primarily the Polish immigrants from Shamokin, and there were some Lithuanians up there as well. And all the churches we had in town were also ethnic, and some were Polish, some were Lithuanian, some were Slovak, and whatnot. But construction equipment and some trees now. Up until 1920 was the engine servicing facility of the Reading Railroad. That's where there stood a 6-bay engine house. And to the left of the train, that stone wall that goes up at an angle was the area where called the coal dock, and that's where the engines were loaded with coal by hand. They dumped the coal out of hopper cars into just wheelbarrows, and several men up on top of that coal dock would take those wheelbarrows and wheel them to the edge of the dock and dump them into the tenders on the steam burning locomotives. Steam burning locomotives. As we travel up here, even further southbound, if you look out the right side of the train facing forward, you'll see some homes here with red metal roofs on them. Well, on the site where these homes were, the red metal roofs was once the Firmin Schmidt Brewing Company. Many of you that may ride the second line today going down toward Maxinus will be telling you about the brewery curve where the F&S brewery first started out. But right to your right now where the homes of the red roofs are is the site of the Firmin Schmidt Brewing Company. Very famous for F&S beer for you beer drinkers.
I didn't know about it.
continue southbound, the area that we're coming into now, which is just kind of a lot of old roads and some trees and everything else that's kind of taken over and grown up. But this was the area where the new engine servicing facility was built opened in 1929. You'll see an area here where there's an old couch, and unfortunately, this area has become a haven for illegal dumpers, and it's very difficult to try and control that. But you'll see an old couch and some concrete. That was the remnants of the former Shamokin engine house, where the built opened in 1929. And this was the second facility for servicing engines. We're right now going through the former Reading Railroad yard that was here for the Reading Company. And this yard closed in about 1974. The yard was closed in or around 1974. They ceased operations here, and at one time the old engine house housed a company called Loose Rail Corporation, who manufactured. Right now we're actually climbing a 1.7% grade, which ends at Locust Summit, where you go down the other side. We're not going as far as Locust Summit, but Locust Summit is the top of the grade. On this side of the grade to the summit, 1.7% climb, which required a lot of push engines on the railroad, pushing out of Shamokin to help push the heavy trains out of Shamokin up to the summit. When you get over the summit, on the other side of the summit, you have a 2.6% grade, one of the steepest grades on the Reading Railroad. And that was the site of a lot of photographers back in the day. Many the last days of steam on the Reading. The pusher engines that pushed the heavy coal trains up the hill to Locust Summit. And at the top of the summit was another coal breaker that was operated by the Philistine, and mostly home heating, because anthracite coal, which we are famous for here in the middle western field, is what this area is here, considered in the anthracite coal region. And that anthracite coal is it's what we call a hard coal. And it's very, very good for home heating. And after the war, in the 40s, home heating shifted more towards oil and natural gas, and that's what led to the decline of the anthracite industry. Some of the slight curves here as we're ascending this grade going up towards Mount Marble here. You'll take notice that the cars seem to lean a little bit to the inside of the curve. This was done purposely by the railroads when you had a higher speed railroad. They put on these curves, the track maintenance crews did what they called elevate the curves. They would elevate them on the outside of the curve, so that as these trains went around these curves at a little bit higher speed, they could maintain a higher speed on the curves because of the elevation on the curve. So if you take notice that the cars lean a little bit, as we get up here a little further, there's a place where it's a little more pronounced, where you'll think the cars are kind of landed on the inside of the curve. That's because of the elevation that was put on these curves to maintain a higher speed.
Do you remember the coal fire trains in Shamokin?
Out the left side of the train right now, as we're going by, you'll see a facility back here. Kind of looks like just a big heap of old wood, but what it is actually is a company called EMS. And what they do is they take and recycle old pallets, they grind them up, remove the nails and the metal from them, and run them through a paint mill, and they make mulch out of old pallets.
Nice camera.
I got it for Christmas.
Video cameras sure have changed from when they first came out. There's a big doll over here, man.
He's not there. You want me to grab it? Alrighty.
Before you take notice that a lot of the creeks have that orange color to them. That's actually iron oxide that's in there from coming out of the coal mines. And this right here is one of the major areas where there's still some mine drainage that empties into Shamokin Creek. What they're doing is they're attempting to filter this by running it through these filtration ponds, and there's limestone in a lot of those filtration ponds, which are helping to try and purify the water. It's not coming out 100% pure. Wherever you go, there's always people who continue to do some illegal dumping. And unfortunately, as you drive out 901 out of Shamokin, you're seeing an area right now, you're going to see an area here that you don't normally see when you're driving on the highway. So if you take notice here, illegal dumping along the road.
Yeah, you feel how the train is on a slant? Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Okay, on the left side of the train as well, you'll still be able to see remnants and evidence of the old road to Excursion. Many of you on the train right now, part of that there, that's little wooden bridge you cross over the Reading tracks right after 901 was established, which made a better corridor to reach Interstate 80. There's also another want to get a view from the opposite side of the train, feel free, if you have a neighbor that would agree to do it, to switch sides on the train. Because that way you can get more out. Any of you that might see any of the mileage markers that are along the railroad, a lot of them have been damaged by vandals who use them for target practice. But if you see any of the mileage markers, I know there's one in downtown Shamokin, which if you see any of these mileage markers, nothing on air, 12 Market Street in Philadelphia was the faint Reading terminal. And that's where the mileage on the Reading Railroad is all measured from. And any of these mile markers represent how many railroad miles it is from that bumper block in Reading Terminal in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Down into Shamokin. Have a good ride, and I'll see you in Shamokin.
Lights are dangerous too. Oh, yeah. It was hard to get black one. Yeah. Lights shut down. I'm working. The light. Yeah, then we're going back down into Shamokin. Right. Well, they're probably, it's back over that for sure. It's just along first and going along. The train is small enough, you don't need it. Especially not now, it's going down.
Whatever, we're going down, whatever it is, the train here to go.
Stops. Please stay seated. Please stay seated until you hear the sound of the train horn. Until they sound the train horn, they will not have the train horn. And it could move and you could fall. So remember to stay seated until you hear the sound of the train horn. At that time, you can get up and we'll start disembarking the train. There'll be personnel at the vestibules and outside the train to help you get off the train. Enjoy the rest of the day. Remember, at 2 o'clock, cemetery tours going on up in our local cemetery here. And I know the gal Tracy, she really puts her heart and soul into it and does a really great job with the tour. It's a very, very, very historical cemetery, and if you have the time, if you're interested, please take advantage and go up and see Tracy and take you'll find a lot of historical information. So again, thanks a lot, and from your mayor here in Shamokin, I'll be signing off now, and I hope to see you on the next drive, which will be heading down towards Shamrock Hill, down below Packers. And if you're not going along, have fun and enjoy yourself, and don't eat too much. Make sure you get what you get something good. There's a lot of good food up there. Going forward, the Andesite Model Railroad Club is open today, and if you have never seen the display up here